check this out. Hey, what's up guys, Rado here with Ridden Iron, and this is my very first two-stroke dirt bike with a magic button, and I'm super excited that this magic button actually works. You guys know in the last video I showed with the bike when I bought it and the starter did not work. It was supposed to be something small, something with the shims, well, we took it apart and look at everything, and we saw what needs to be done, and it was a little bit bigger than what we originally thought. So I'm gonna take you to a Parker's garage with Brett. We took it apart and examined the damage.
Alright Brett, so give me a damage report on the starter issue on this KTM.
On the starter is the Bendix is going bad. As this Bendix goes to engage, it's just twisting right through it. These, when they get old, inside wears out. You can take these apart and clean it and put new bushings and it works, but we just rather replace it since we're doing a whole build. You can see the gears are pretty torn up already. And then the bushings on this one, as you can see, were just really blown out. Not good. So after we get new bushings and get new Bendix, she'll be running just fine.
Cool, so what would be the retail for all the parts that we need to make it just really reliable?
It'll be, retail will be about 120 bucks or so.
Okay.
And we get a little better deal, but yeah.
Cool, so it's not too bad, huh?
No.
Alright, cool. Thanks a lot, Brett.
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly what we thought is wrong. So we got new Bendix, spent like $100 in new Bendix, new bushings, and now it's engaging properly. It's not, before when I hit the starter, this would just spin, free running. So I would hear that it's spinning. So with the new Bendix, it is now engaging properly and it's jumping, you know, and expanding and doing what it's supposed to do, but it didn't have enough power to crank over the engine. So we originally thought that the battery is weak, right? So we charged the battery, then we tried another battery, and it still would not crank the engine over. It was just sound like your battery is weak. You're like, it kind of wants to do it, but it didn't. So turned out that the starter itself was bad too. So we got new Bendix and everything, spent like $100 there, and then All Balls has a starter for these bikes, and Jake Clark helped us to get the starter from All Balls. We installed that, everything on the bike, and now it works effortlessly. Check it out. It comes on right away, cold, hot, it works really well. So now the only part remaining before I take this bike apart, I want to take it for a first and a last ride at the same time. So it's the first ride for me on this bike, and it's the last ride before complete rebuild.
Alright guys, so let's take it for this usual ride where I take all the new bikes that I'm testing. The engine feels really good. The suspension, not so much. I can feel that it's not balanced. The rear is too soft, and the front is actually pretty stiff. But the engine is good. It is pretty crisp. I didn't touch the jetting, not even the air screw. Today is about 90 degrees right now. I'm pretty sure it wasn't jetty for 4000. But it runs pretty good. And I look forward when I get the suspension down. Probably Race Tech will do it. It will be so much better. This thing has such a nice bottom, look at it. No clutch at all. second gear. This is very stiff in the front, so it's deflecting off these little bumps. I definitely want to get a nice plush off-road suspension. I'm not planning to take big jumps, but I want to be able to just float on the top of these bumps. Yeah, it's a little painful. I can feel majority. Still in a second gear, and I'm enjoying this lugging ability of 300. It locks second gear. Look at it, very slow. Yeah, here I have not a lot of control because of the suspension. Normally, if I'm clutch on other bikes, this thing is, if you have plus suspension, you can have way more control in this kind of condition. Second gear all the time, shift first. Alright, it usually dies here. Anyway, I want to talk to you. So definitely feel the suspension is way off. My rear, you know, when I bounce just on when I step up on the pegs and push down, normally the bike should nicely squat evenly, but here I can feel that the rear goes down first and then front a little bit. It's really not balanced. I think the shock has very soft spring, and then the forks, they're a little too stiff. Like I can feel every single bump, so then I'm losing control on these little loose rocks. Yeah, gotta love that bottom power here. And then once you hit the pipe, it's quite fun too. Not a crazy hit, but very broad power band. I like that. Alright my friends, I think that's enough for the first ride. Engine is really good. I like the lugging power. I like the transmission, the gaps, first, second, third. It's really good gaps there. No complaint at all. And the brakes are really good. What I don't like is the suspension. It's just not balanced at all. Front very stiff, rear kind of soft, and it just doesn't work together. I don't have a lot of control over the bike, especially in this kind of terrain. So I cannot wait to take this bike completely apart and go through everything, do the suspension, do the engine. There's not a lot that we need to do to the engine. It's already very good. You know, I'm no racer. I don't need to have like the crazy amount of horsepower on this thing. I really like the way it runs right now. Maybe we can tweak it and make it a little bit better with like some head or some porting here and there, some good jetting, and we'll see what we can do. Alright my friends, well that's about it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. This is the very first ride. Right after this we're gonna go back to garage and start working on this build. I'm gonna take everything apart and we'll be busy. Alright guys, that's about it for today, and don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.